Good morning. Good morning. I have some coffee with me this morning, guys, for a little bit of morning coffee chronicles. Put my coffee down. I actually just came from my morning walk, walking the dogs, and it is the 4th of July weekend, and it's funny because a lot of people are seeing fireworks and outside and turning up, and all that stuff is cool. Y'all do whatever it is y'all feel that y'all should do, right? But for me, I don't know. The 4th of July makes me a little sad because it feels like an illusion that we're free. And then once you do a little bit of studying, you definitely understand that any brown, black, and indigenous people, y'all up here spending all this money and turning up and doing all of this stuff, and this holiday definitely has nothing to do with us, right? Juneteenth was us. And the craziest thing is I didn't even have, like, I know, like, my family, a lot of my family is more Christian, right? And that's their business. And I want people to understand that everybody's not going to agree with your opinion, okay? This is a time, especially right now in the United States, where everybody is a little bit everywhere. And I feel like, our stance and our beliefs on different situations are different. And that's okay, but we need to understand there's a certain way that we need to address and speak to each other. And on top of that, everything does not cause for an argument or doesn't mean that you should speak on it. So I'm gonna give an example. Yesterday, family coming in from out of town and stuff for the holidays. They got some church shit going on. You know how they get to doing their little revivals and conferences and all of that shit. So one of my family members is excited about, one of the churches that got stuff going on in the city. Now, y'all know, I'm not a churchgoer like that. I am an ex-Christian. I grew up in the Christian religion, but then I found my own way. Now, most of my family know this, but I'm not a person to get to arguing about religion. I don't have to argue with anybody about what I believe or my stance, um, or even how I feel. Some people may not understand this, but some spiritual people will. I have an old soul. This is not even the first time my soul has done this work. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in reincarnation and stuff, many of us have already been here. So, trying to figure out what exactly you're supposed to be doing on this go round. Some of us just got different paths. You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't understand that or you don't feel it, that's okay. But that don't mean that you have to shun it because you don't understand it. And I feel like that's one of the biggest problems that I have with people, especially Christians. I feel like they shun and put down everything that's not opposed to them. And this is my thing. I'm not here to argue with nobody. If you believe what you believe, that's your business. But you can't get mad and start pushing your beliefs on other people. And I believe this is the biggest issue we're having right now in America overall. Because do I believe that homosexuals and transgenders and everybody under that umbrella. I want you to be able to be free and be yourself. But we're not going to play like the agenda behind what America is doing in the name of the LBGT community is not fucking with me. It's the same thing as when they came out with the Black Lives Matter. At first, I am literally pro-black. I am an alpha black woman. I love the black men. I love us. And I'm not saying I don't have no love for other cultures or other people, because that's not what I'm saying. But us, I have pride in us. We have been through a lot, and I know exactly who we are. And it's not to cause division. It's not to say that I'm better than anybody, but I know that I'm gold. Period. End of story. Okay? They know that I'm gold. They know that we are gold. You feel what I'm saying? That's the reason why our struggle has been so great. There is no other people on this planet who has had the struggle of black and indigenous people. I mean, it's what it is. But when it comes to religion, beliefs, spirituality, we don't have to argue about it. It's like people who argue about whether the world is round or whether it's flat. I'm not doing that shit. At the end of the day, how about we just take care of the world and do our part so the next generation can be good? We're sitting around arguing about shit that don't matter, right? So I had a family member yesterday try to tell me, why don't you take your kids? But this was my thing. This was a conversation that she brought up in front of my kids. And see, that's what people need to understand. We need to start getting some understanding of words, English words, because we spend a lot of time, especially y'all Christians, oh, you want to talk about language and oh, she got a potty mouth and cussing and all that. Fuck that. Let's get to the bottom of what a lot of these words mean. Let's talk about people being intrusive. Let's talk about boundaries. Let's talk about respect, because these are things that we're missing right now in America. So what you have opinion on, whatever you have an opinion on, there's a time and a place and a space for everything. And how about this? Just because you see something that bothers you does not mean that it's your assignment to speak on it. That person that is doing whatever that you peeped, that does not mean that it's your assignment to handle it. Okay? So here comes my little Christian family member. Um, when are you going to start taking your son to church? He's 5, and he need to start having a better foundation of who Jesus is and get into the whole structure of church and the experience. And I said, do we? What do you want him to grow up and believe in? Don't he need to have a foundation? First of all, you don't even live in town with me. Second of all, we are family. And this is the thing about even family, y'all. My family don't know who I am. And that's okay. I'm not here to prove to anybody who I am, right? But you have to create boundaries and make sure people stay there. Because immediately I had to check my aunt and let her know, listen, I'm not about to argue with you about religion. I'm about to argue about you about what you believe. And I'm definitely the fuck about to not argue about my kids, okay? My son is a black little man growing up in America. I am not fucking worried about Jesus right now. And I keep trying to explain to y'all one of the detriments, even in my experience, was church. Y'all, that whole experience of really figuring out that, yeah, Jesus is a real person. He did some great things, because this is how I see him. Yeah, he was a real person. Yeah, he did some great things. That Bible is so mixed up. It's distorted, and they kept what they wanted to keep, and they took out what they wanted to take out, and there are still books to this day that people are breaking down and actually getting to the root of real meanings, real origins. And yeah, like, there are so many lies and secrets throughout history. We need to get to the space where we need to realize we may not know anything. Okay? Everything that we have been taught is a lie. Like I even said, even when it came to the Black Lives Matter, when that shit first popped off, I'm like, okay, kind of feeling it. But I wanted to watch it. I wasn't jumping on no bandwagon. I was fucking with a lot of the shit they were saying at first. And then the more I seen it, then I seen the website, and called my spirit, peeped the agenda. I was over it. Yeah, I know Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that shit means something different to me, but then they took it and they perverted it. It's the same thing with what they're doing with Pride. They're taking it and they're perverting it. Because the truth is, they don't give a fuck about Black lives. They don't give a fuck about the LGBT community. They give a fuck about what they're pushing. What they're pushing in all of this shit is to destroy the regular family. They want to destroy families. And we're not going to skip over, like, we do all of this shit. We made all of these holidays big. And look how we did Father's Day this year. Look how we did Father's Day, y'all. We're demasculating our man.